also my prayers for the injured people so that the Lord will heal them and they become strong again. Today I've been asked to speak on impunity watch, why perpetrators of the killings of 3 pastors, Kuki-Zo, remain free. I think even before I begin with the 3 pastors, we have to know that for 3 years, how many Kuki-Zo people have died. That's more than 200 people, almost 300 people have died, and there are many women who have been raped, who have been molested, who have been paraded naked, who have been burned alive. But till now, the impunity is that till now for 3 years the state government or the central government has not made any arrest for the people who have been chopped, who have been burned alive, and who have been raped. So this is what we exactly call ourselves being persecuted and victimized in our land. So I think this is something which I really want to say before we talk about something which has happened after 3 years. We know that the killing, the ambush of the 3 pastors happened after 3 years and 10 days. That's on the 13th of May, 2026. And we know that the 3 pastors, one is a very senior pastor who is Reverend Dr. Bumthang Sitlo. He is the president of Thado Baptist Association India, and he is also the former General Secretary of Manipur Baptist Convention and prominent peace advocate. And the second pastor who passed away was Reverend Kaigo Loon Lohum and Pastor Pauline Sitlo. They were ambushed and killed by armed gunmen in the Kanpopi districts. And we know that there are still 4 pastors who have not luckily died, but they are still seriously injured and have been taken care of. These pastors, they have gone on a peace mission, visiting, previously they have gone to Nagaland also, and they have gone to, on that previous day, on the 12th of May, they were in Churachandpur, and they were returning from the first United Baptist Convention in Churachandpur, which focused on peace and reconciliation among the tribal Christian communities. Because we know that for 3 years there was a state-sponsored violence which was carried out by the village VBIGs, valley-based insurgent groups. And they were mostly the Arambai Tengol and the Meitei Lipun. So after that, sadly from 2026 February, I in fact would say that it's a continuation of the state-sponsored violence, because we know that there's already a buffer zone which has been created between the Meitei communities, Meitei area and the Kuki area. Now that the Meiteis are not unable to enter the Kuki areas, they have been trying to penetrate through the Tangkul side mainly, which has been inhabited by the Tangkul side, and who are mostly like NSA and IM, who have already signed a peace accord with the government of India. But the sad thing is that it is believed that the NSCN-IM has been working with the proxy organizations, proxy groups to attack the Kuki-Zo people. And in a way, it seems to me that there's a continued state-sponsored violence, because what you have to know is that NSCN-IM is a group which has been spearheading for a greater Nagaland, and they have already signed a accord in the 1990s with the government of India, and they have some ground rules where they cannot ambush people, where they cannot attack anybody. So, and the sad thing is that the ambush, they were traveling in two vehicles, and the ambush happened in a broad daylight. The ambush occurred around 10 to 11 a.m. between Kotsim and Portland villages. And one thing we have to know is that even if it happened in the Kuki villages, Kuki areas, doesn't mean that it's a huge stretch of land where anybody can just go and attack, so that like it's very easy to say that it's an attack between among themselves. So this is one thing which there's some propaganda saying that how can the NSCN or like its proxy groups go and attack, because it's in the Kuki area. But we need to be clear that it's not it's a jungle, and anybody is free to go and target their attacks. And the victims, they are all pastors, they are unarmed church leaders returning from a religious and peace-focused gathering. And it's a clear targeting of civilians working for harmony. Here, I'd just like to focus that people keep on saying that the Kuki-Zos are not interested in peace or harmony, but then there are our religious leaders who have been working for the peace and harmony, so that there can be reconciliation, even though the pain which people have endured can always be somehow like there can be reconciliation among those people also. And we know that this triggered immediate tensions, including retaliatory hostage taking, further endangering peace. And just to highlight the role of the perpetrators, because it is alleged that the NSCN Kamson fraction, which is a proxy army of the NSCN, who is supposed to be the proxy army of the NSCN-IM, they have been alleged to have done this arm attack. And of course, it has been already condemned by the Kuki-Zo apex bodies, the Kuki in Manipur, the Kohur, and they have said that the alleged attack was carried out by the Zeliangdong United Front in collusion with the NSCN-IM operatives and valley-based native insurgents. So as I already highlighted, now that like the buffer zone is there, so these the valley-based Métis groups are trying to find a way through some organizations where they can attack the Kuki-Zo people who are already who have already been protected by the buffer zone. And we should all know that while we say NSCN-IM, we know that NSCN-IM is under the ceasefire. It is bound by a formal ceasefire agreement with the government of India since 1997 with agreed ground rules, and these rules